A very good morning, good afternoon. Apologies for the late start. Hope everybody is doing well, that you can see my screen and hear my voice okay. Good morning, Najim. Hey, morning. Good to see you. George, Ryan, good morning. Hey, Ruby. Hey, Alan. Good to see you. Oh, I hope everybody's doing well and had a good weekend. Yeah, I'll just mute some people. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay, folks. So here we are. New trading week and a big week because of the non-farm payroll that we've got coming up. So a couple of things to point out. First of all, don't forget this macro research section that we have. This is a really good tool. You can see here, you can just go along to the macro snapshots and straight away you can quickly see what the most important data is that's coming up this week. You can see you've got non-farm payroll expected to be high. We've got JOLTS jobs coming in, ISM Manufacturing, PCE, all of it just showing us that this is a very important week for US data. And of course, the big story is the dollar's been going up and up and up on the Federal Reserve hawkish tilt that we had from 2 weeks ago. And that dollar strength is now looking at potentially fading. Okay, so a little bit of potential fading, but there's also the risk that we go up to 102, 102.50. And you can see the trend has clearly been higher. Now, at what point does the dollar, just move lower? Because the Federal Reserve isn't going to be embarking on a series of interest rate hikes. So a bit of dollar indecision today would make sense. Maybe a bit of dollar downside could flip to the upside. It's sort of 50-50 which way it goes. But you can just see from last week in the euro dollar towards the end of the week, price is trying to grind higher. So my first got a trade idea today is a little technical trade, which is in the dollar, looking for a potential dollar weakness, which would be if we get a retracement back down. Let's just show you. Back down here in the euro dollar. Which is just down here at that 1391. So you see this area here, that is a potential long area. Try up to 3 times. Just that little range from Friday. If we move back down to there, I'm happy to buy there. Try up to 5 times. If I get 20 points, move to break even. And just in case we get a little bit of dollar weakness coming in for today. So that's trade idea number 1. Trade idea number 2 is with the euro pound. So I'm maintaining my euro pound long bias. You can see here from this false move down there, you've got the yield spread broadly trending higher, and I'm expecting the euro pound to move up on maybe the return of UK political risk, the fact that the Bank of England's unlikely to hike interest rates, the European Central Bank is likely to hike interest rates, the yield spread's also supporting upside. So euro pound up to 8.7 remains a swing trade that I have. There's another intraday trade which I'm also taking, which is a return back down to this sort of, if you look here, you see there's a head and shoulders pattern, left shoulder, right shoulder, head, neckline. So if I get back down to that head and shoulders pattern here, happy to go long at that 0.862. So euro pound buy bias from the 0.8623, 5-point stop, try up to 3 times. That's absolutely fine. Euro pound swing trade is still in play, looking for a move up to the 0.8700. Looking at the European equity opening news, just see there isn't any particular drivers going on in the FX market. There was more headlines about US and Iran, the US striking Iran over the weekend, but there's nothing that's massively changing. That broad kind of dip that still gets bought. And you can see in the ES, NASDAQ, Dow, finding dip buying to start the week, volatility pushing lower. So markets are happy to buy equity markets still. Yes, we have seen some selling, but we're starting the week positive. US exceptionalism is seen as here to stay. Strong jobs data expected. Strong ADP jobs data expected. All of that means that there isn't a reason not to keep buying the dip, and markets are generally positive regarding equity markets. And if you look at the turn of the month effect, you can see here, where are we?
Season X helps you optimize the timing of your trades based on seasonal recurring.
Have a look here. We'll look at S&P 500. We'll look at it turn of the month. We're coming it to second to last day of the month. All right. See here, right, from this point, over the last 10 years, average return of positive 0.5%, 67.50% winning trade percentage. So we're coming into that strong time of the year. Now, if you look at June, first day of the month of June, you can see that again, you know, that's quite good. Average return of 1.17%, 90% winning trade percentage. So you see that June tends to be a very strong time for the turn of the month in the S&P 500 over the last 10 years. If we get it to the recent history, let's have a look at the last 5 years. 80%, nearly three-quarter, 0.78%. So strong period that we're in now. And you tend to see equity markets supported. The reason you tend to get equity markets going up at the turn of the month is things like pension contributions tend to be at that time of the month, cash allocations, institutional moves. They're the reasons that are touted for this turn of the month effect. And we're heading into that. You can see S&P 500, if you look at the NASDAQ, right, turn of the month effect. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Look at that. NASDAQ 1.27% over the last 10 years, Nadja. Very strong. Yeah, and the second quarter, yeah, I don't know, Nadja. So, because you know, typically the summer's a bit weaker, isn't it? Very strong here in the NASDAQ. So we're in a period of seasonality that really supports equity upside. And yes, there is that AI story that resumes, but at the moment, look, volatility is pushing lower. So don't be surprised if we see dips being bought today. Okay. And that could keep a buy bias in play, right? And that should mean that Asia's VWAP, European VWAP should hold, and yesterday's VWAP should hold from the US, the 7419. So expect dip buying in the ES today. Apart from that, it's pretty light on the data. So they're the trades I'm looking at. Bit of dollar weakness, but there's a risk to that dollar weakness trade idea, right? You could easily just see dollar strength come back in. It's not like the narrative is super clear. But I'm expecting potential dollar weakness, but also just dollar strength to come back in. So it's 50-50, but technically I like it. Little return to that little range, very tight stop. That's fine. I'll accept that. And euro pound upside with that swing trade is what I'm looking at today. Apart from that, it's buying stocks on any dips. Okay, folks. That is all for today. And we'll be back tomorrow for another day. And other than that, take care and see you later. See you guys. See you, Ruby. Bye.